Who is Muse, the new villain from Daredevil? While Blindspot invisibly follows Muse, he reflects on why the last thing he told Matt was that he wouldn't let anyone else die. Who did he think he was? He just started doing this. We find out that the guy is genuinely in doubt. He doesn't know what to do. This is the first serious assignment he's had since creating this suit. He just wanted to protect his neighborhood from some petty criminals who were merely stealing. Now the stakes are much higher, and this is beyond his level. He just wanted to protect his neighborhood and his mother, and he is doing exceptionally well with that task. Moreover, in his thoughts, he goes further. The person is a judge. If the judge finds out that I have no documents, I am an illegal immigrant. Maybe he will be the one who signs the deportation papers. Why am I even running to save this person, although he might pose a danger to me? He also assumes that perhaps Daredevil is to blame because he seems to have infected this person with his sense of justice that one must help everyone, regardless of the price you have to pay. At that moment, Muse drags the judge into the sewer and says, "Wake up, it's time to create." We see that 3 other people are sitting there in the sewer. Muse says, "I want you to know that I consider all of you an integral part of my team. Without each of you, I wouldn't be able to express my vision of beauty," and he cuts off one of the police officer's ears. That's when Blindspot reveals himself in all his glory. He turns off invisibility and says, "Stop right now." Muse then says, "Exactly. This is the part we were missing to display modern injustice. Of course, we need a masked lyncher." So Muse throws a knife at him. The guy deflects it and then runs away. Muse abandons everything and chases after Blindspot, shouting, "Where are you going? I'm a huge fan of your work." But Blindspot activates his invisibility, and Muse loses sight of him. Then Blindspot returns to the hostages to free them. He unties them and says, "You need to get out of here quickly," to which they respond that Muse is a complete psycho and offers to help him. The guy replies, "No, I'm responsible for your safety. Go down this tunnel. It'll lead you outside. Go." Next, Blindspot encounters Muse again and tries to activate the invisibility mode, but the batteries are dead. His suit is still in the early stages of development. He has never used it for this long before, and tries to escape. He finds a sewer cover and attempts to climb out, but realizes he won't be able to because Muse is very fast. All he manages to do is pull out his phone and call Daredevil, leaving the phone by the cover so it can be tracked to where he last was. Just then, Muse grabs him, dragging him into the catacombs. When Matt arrives at the crime scene, a police officer offers help to him. Daredevil sits right where the phone was found, shuts off his consciousness, and begins to listen to his senses, analyzing the area. He remembers that the guy was practically a blank space. He didn't reflect any sounds. The only thing Matt heard was the beating of his heart. And if the whole city creates a crazy cacophony of sounds, he needs to find that one place where there is nothing, like emptiness. Meanwhile, Muse has dragged Blindspot into his lair, removes his blindfold, and shows him his workshop. Blindspot says, "You shouldn't be doing all of this," to which Muse responds, "When I started, it was a woman who just happened to cross my path, and I made something abstract out of her. I told myself that this was all wrong, but it didn't feel wrong, and every minute counts, so I have to do this." At that very moment of desperation, Daredevil crashes through the glass because he tracked down this criminal. The first thing Matt does is throw another baton at Muse, but the guy catches it again and says, "Well, we've already gone through this." To which Matt replies, "Get away from Blindspot immediately, or I will break every bone in your body." Muse doesn't react and says, "Oh right, of course," and simply tosses Matt's baton away. Matt looks at Blindspot, and then it hits him. Wait, that's it. That's the inspiration. And he gouges out the guy's eyes. Of course, how did I not realize it sooner? The blind spot. He then throws the tied-up guy down to Matt. Matt, of course, catches him and realizes the guy just lost both eyes, trying to calm him down. But Blindspot says that Muse said something very important, and I think the people whose blood he used to paint the picture are still alive, because he needs fresh blood. Please, make sure no one else gets hurt. Daredevil rushes after Muse, engaging in a fight with him, but he still manages to throw Matt out, smashing him through some wall. When Matt ends up inside a room, he sees dozens of people hanging upside down, unconscious, and each of them connected to a small tube to drain their blood. Muse grabs an axe and says, "What's this? Are you worried about the people? Why are they so important to you? They are becoming part of something immortal," and he cuts the rope that holds those people. Matt races down and grabs that rope at the last moment while Muse escapes. Then Daredevil braces the spool with his baton and runs after Muse. When he gets to the roof, there are already Inhumans catching this psycho. Matt approaches and says, "How exactly do you plan to punish this person?" At which point Muse breaks his own fingers and says, "I think you wanted to do exactly that.